Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. For the last time this season, it's Friday Night Lights with my friends Willie Walls and Odell Blocker, the Great Swame. Guys, we blinked. The season's over. We got the divisional round. Willie's Commanders are in there. Swame's Ravens are in there. My Lions are in there. Everybody's kind of happy.
Yeah.
Except for Dangerous. It's the 49ers are not in there.
Yeah, Dangerous 49ers are not there. Not there. But Willie, before we talk about the games, Commanders outperformed. I got to believe they outperformed your expectations, yes?
Yeah, they did. I mean, one thing that I noticed is I don't think they got a shot that's going to be, what they play is what golf just eats up. And in their coverages, but when you got Daniels in there, he's got that something special. And anytime that somebody as a rookie got 5 comeback wins at the end, he has more than 4 than you talking about Joe Montana, Tom Brady. Some of 4 of the greatest that got 2 together, and he's got more than those guys. So listen, my hands up to it because honestly. If you can't see it, we need a stud running back, we need a stud receiver, we need linemen, defense and offense. But
that's it. Is there anything you don't need besides a quarterback?
Listen, but
we need a water boy. We need a towel boy.
Listen, you can see that. Listen, Baker was 15 of 18. He was 15 of 18. You understand what I'm saying? It's just the fact that Daniels kept the ball away. You found, and they had those turnovers. That's it. We wouldn't stop. We can't stop a paper towel. I'm just telling you. We can. I'm just telling you the reality. But what he does is because he's the first guy that's in the building and he's the last guy to leave. So when you do that, when your best player is doing that, the other guys don't have no way. But they got to acquiesce and they got to come with him. Right. So that's how he makes everybody better because he covers up a lot of stink that we got on those lines,
Well, the great ones do. The great ones cover it up. Yeah. Now, Swami, you're a Ravens. You're a John Harbaugh hater. Say that one 3 times fast. But the Ravens look like if they're ever going to reach a Super Bowl, Swami, this feels like the year.
Doc, I think we have probably seen this before. And so I like to see them actually get to the dance. If I had to say, I prefer we go through Kansas City. I'm not just saying that. I do. So I want us to go to Buffalo and win and go to Kansas City to win. I want that to be our path to the Super Bowl. As far as the coaching, like I said, it speaks for itself. I think oftentimes when you got a very talented team, you can kind of get away with some things. But when it counts, when it's those downs and distances, those moments in the game where you have to show up as a coach, because coaching isn't, as we know, it's not every play. Some plays, it's not, you're not going to be able to see it. And then when you got guys like Allen and Mahomes and Jackson, we see how many plays they extend, how they let folks work to get open, and they back there making these spectacular plays. But when coaching show up, and we saw it last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think, were out-coached as much as anything. And a lot of these other teams, we saw coaching showed up in the first round. And if I don't have to say anything else, but we'll see second round what coaches outthink themselves and call it like we saw last week.
It's funny you mentioned that. I like Todd Bowles. I think he's a good guy. I don't think he's a great coach, right? And certain coaches, you say to yourself, are they going to win a Super Bowl? No. But you know what? People laughed when Dan Campbell was hired years ago when he's like, I'm going to eat their ankles or rip their whatever he was going to do. He's going to bite something, but the team plays gritty. They play gritty.
And I don't like all of Campbell's calls in some spots, but I like the fact that he's making calls. See what I'm saying, Doc? He is taking calculated chances. He's trying to win games. He's playing to win, not playing not to lose. And that's what I like about him.
Well, it's funny. There was some article I read about Mike Vrabel where they said that he was one of the most conservative coaches out there. I'm not saying he's bad. I think he's a good coach. But Campbell will go for it, right? 4th and 1 on his own 35, he's going for it. I think that tells you a lot about your team. Tells you a lot about your team.
I'll tell you about our team, Doc. You would think if this guy's going to get up and he has something to handle, we'd understand. At least go on mute. Do he really think that needs to be a conversation?
Got to need the DoorDash over there, Willie.
I cannot
it's not DoorDash.
This guy.
Listen, let me tell you something. This guy, phenomenal. Hallelujah, Gas Connect. A guy listen, I haven't had my oven in 6 months, okay? So I finally got a chance because I worked so much.
What's one more day? Suck it up.
Listen, go on mute.
Listen, I got it in, baby, and this guy is phenomenal. So if you need somebody in Maryland, you make sure you get this guy. This guy is phenomenal.
All right,
you got me all.
Okay, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of phenomenal, somebody needs to win some money so we can finish off with a phenomenal weekend. Let's break it down by position this time, okay? Because we only have 4 games. Let's start at quarterback. Willie, who's your favorite? Who are you not playing? Who are you not sure about playing? I'm going to tell you my favorite before we get started, and I think this one is going to surprise you. I'm going to play Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going to feel really good about it too.
I'm not mad at Patrick Mahomes. I'm really not, because they are finally healthy. And, and the guy that really intrigues me for the team is Mr. Worthy. I think by getting the receiver, that receiver back to being healthy, a receiver, he is now in the slot position where he's supposed to be. And guess what? Houston played well on the outside receivers. Okay. But that slot receiver, and he plays like about 60% of the snaps in the slot. They struggle against the slot. You saw what McConkey did. Okay. That's the same thing that Mr. Worthy is going to do in this game. I love Mr. Worthy. He's going to be like one of my cores on the slate. I mean, I like Worthy. I really do. I like Worthy in that slot, man. What you laughing about Worthy?
Because he asked about quarterback.
I know, but I'm just saying that's why I like Mahomes.
He's pacing himself, Swami. Okay, I gave you a guy I like. Tell me a guy you like, Willie.
Golf from Detroit.
Right.
I think phenomenal position. Listen. Let me tell you something. Our defense is boo to the boo, boo, boo. Listen. Baker was 15 of 18. You know what I mean? Listen, if it wasn't for their dumb plays that they had and some unfortunate things that they had, they still would be throwing the ball on us. So I love golf. And what the Commanders do is they play right into his strength. Against man, they play a lot of man-to-man, and they play cover 1, cover 3. And what does he do? He eats them up, especially man-to-man. He is the number 1 in the NFL against man-to-man. He has 15 touchdowns and no interceptions. So Mr. Jameson Williams, Amara, Porter, they are all in play in this game. I actually like the passing game better than I do the running game in this game. I think it's a 2-way, but I just think that I listen. I think he's one of my favorites, and I also like Daniels because what? The Lions struggle against running quarterbacks. How many touchdowns have they given up? I'm glad you asked me that. They've given up 6. And you saw when Mr. Baker Mayfield played him earlier, and he's not a running quarterback, but they gave him trouble when they played him in Detroit earlier.
So if you had to play one quarterback, Goff or Daniels?
Goff.
Okay. Who's your surprise quarterback that you might play in one or two teams?
My surprise quarterback? Man. I really, honestly, I mean, I was looking at Mahomes too, but that's not a surprise quarterback. And I just can't. I listen. Kansas City is healthy now. I cannot. I was thinking about the use of quarterback, but not only no, but hell no, I can't do it. And I thought about the Rams quarterback, but with that snow and all that kind of stuff. And I just think Philly just has a superior team. So really, it's Goff and Daniels for me, to be honest.
Danger sent me to the Sims, and the Sims are screaming, Swami. They're screaming to play Jaden Daniels.
I think it's something that's interesting there. If I had to pick somebody, because I know when you're saying quarterback, we have to consider price in there as well. So I'm not mad at Daniels. I think Daniels is in a good spot. I think I like golf a lot as well in that game. But if I had to pick a dark horse or somebody who I think most people might not be looking at, it might be him. If I had to tell you somebody who I'm not, just like I told you about a guy last week named Cup, I'm gonna tell you about a guy this week. I will not be playing. I don't care if it's your lineup, Willie's, Danger, I don't care who it is. Patrick Mahomes will not be in one lineup.
All right, why? Why?
Because first of all, he broke my heart in season long. He's been playing like
I care about that. No offense.
But you asked me why, so I got to be unbiased.
Who cares about breaking your heart? I'm trying to win money.
Okay. He's not playing well, and just because some folks are coming back, the offense just hasn't looked good. I think they're going to have a little bit of trouble with Houston. Not a lot, but a little bit of trouble. And I don't like it. I don't like their prices. As Walls would say, you and Walls love to say, who is he going to go to? You put all these jokers back in there. He's screaming Worthy. He don't know if it's going to be Kelsey. He don't know if it's going to be Hopkins. He don't know if it's going to be Worthy. Likely Walls is going off the last game because that's what he loves to do. But he doesn't know and can't say for sure where he's going.
I can't listen. If you can't look at what's been going on lately, the pattern, first of all, getting Brown back opens up everything for them. You know what I mean? It really opens up the offense for the Chiefs. And it doesn't matter really who the hell he throw it to. He's talking about playing Mahomes. So Mahomes will get it. So whether he throws it to Gray, Kelsey, or anybody, Mahomes gets the point for the touchdown.
Doc,
so that doesn't matter. It could be a Green Bay thing of getting it, but one thing I do know, and that's why you, like you said, take your stuff out and put your big boy pants on. Put your big boy pants on, sir. There's what people want to hear play. And what I'm telling you is Mr. Worthy is playing most of his position. And every decision Brown is out. He's going to be on the outside. He's playing it in the slot.
Doc,
that's what
here's what you've never heard before in your professional career, Doc, that Hollywood Brown opened up anything except for a bag of chips. See, when you hear stuff like that, Doc, you know somebody has been drinking on the job.
All right, let me just say this. And I'm not dissing our friend Miguel here who's in there. Appreciate you being here, Miguel. We love having you. I think people are remembering the Houston Texans defense last week being really good. And they were. They were really good. But they were playing the Chargers. Now you're playing Patrick Mahomes on the road. You think he's losing that game? He may lose. He's not losing to the Texans. I'm just telling you that right now. And I don't disagree with you, Willie. I think Worthy's in play. I think Kelsey's in play. They're going to score 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. I think the Texans will be lucky to score 13 points.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on, gentlemen. I think one of the good things that we do have, that I'm not saying we just totally throw out past games and past stats. What we do have is I think 3 of these 4 teams have played this year. I think the Chiefs and Houston played in December. I think I watched that game a couple of times.
And Mahomes had a good game.
Hold on. I'm not just basing it off of Doc. I was kidding about the season long. I looked at the film. He doesn't look good, and he hasn't shown us anything. Willie is throwing out this wild Hollywood Brown crap in his crap.
No.
Right, so let me ask this. Are we afraid to play Allen, Hurts, Stafford, or Lamar in bad weather? Yes or no?
Not the quarterbacks that run. I'm not necessarily scared of those guys, but I wouldn't necessarily want to take the quarterbacks that don't have that ability in bad weather.
Willie, you want to play bad weather quarterbacks, or you want to stick to Daniels and Goff?
I'm going to take a listen. The points was at 51. Has the points gone down since then?
I think it's 55. Which one? Which
the Ravens game?
51.5.
That still says a lot, and honestly, people play better in the snow. You saw what did now they play. First of all, they playing the Ravens, so I think the Ravens got the team to beat to go to the Super Bowl. Honestly, I just think that what the Ravens do is they stop that run. So Cook is not going to be getting all those run yards that he received before. That's one thing the Ravens do. Now you might be able to pass them, but you got to remember the Ravens defense has been the best defense since week 10 in the NFL. They've been the best defense since week 10 in the NFL. So what I'm saying to you is they getting back to, brass knuckles. And I'm just telling you, I know one thing we do know, Josh Allen can play in the snow. He did that in that game against San Francisco. So we know that. And we know Lamar could play. Now, Lamar could play too. Listen, this is a different Lamar. This is not the same Lamar. Lamar's stats are phenomenal. And listen, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they roughed him up 35-10 the last time they played.
Well, Derrick Henry's still running the football. Didn't he have 199 yards?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And if it's bad weather,
he's going to have 299 yards.
And I don't see anything change in that Buffalo line. Unfortunately, Denver did not have the pieces to take advantage of that run game because they got a weak run defense, but they don't have the pieces some people don't have the defenses to take advantage of it. But this time, especially with the weather driven and things of that nature, things make sense. But
so let's talk about
Swami, Mahomes had 23.7 points in that game against Houston. When you say he didn't have a good game, that's not a bad game to me, especially at his price point. 23.7.
He had 260 yards and 1 touchdown. That's not vintage.
But you can't run on Houston. Houston's a good run defense. And Pacheco and Hunt are not guys who scare me.
No, and that's not vintage Patrick Mahomes. 260 yards and 1 touchdown.
All right, let's get to the running backs here for a second, guys. Are you thinking in your brains of going Henry and Barkley and then figuring the rest of your lineups out?
Yes.
That's not a bad go. Not a bad go.
Yes. Yes, because Philly got the – listen, I saw what the Rams did against Minnesota. Remember, that's Darnold, okay? That's Minnesota, okay? But let me tell you something. This Phillies offensive line will maul your ass, okay? They are – listen, they'll take that little L.A. and they playing outside in snow. Oh, they're going to maul their ass. It's going to be – you're going to throw up. It's going to be so much Barkley they're going to be throwing up Barkley, okay? That's what I'm saying. So I think Barkley I agree, is a lock for me. There's 2 guys that are a lock on this slate for me, and I'm going to figure it out. Henry and Barkley.
Well, on FanDuel, Montgomery's a lock at 4.
Oh, absolutely. I'm playing 3 backs on FanDuel. 4,000, a mistake on FanDuel, he's in.
But on DraftKings, Swami, are you with me? Barkley, Henry, figure it out after that.
I'm with you. We're talking about they the only folks on there who I can say for sure I think are likely to have 30 plus.
Now look at what Danger wants to do. He wants to go Barkley, Henry, Gibbs, and then figure it out. Do you like that idea?
Not bad.
I'm going to tell you why I don't like it as much. Because Montgomery is a back, okay? And what I'm trying to tell you is, the way that coach is. I mean, if I had to like somebody more in this game, it would be Montgomery, for the ownership, as well as I think, listen, Montgomery is healthy. He could have played last week, I think, if they needed to, if they were playing. This guy's been waiting, and he's 5,700.
He's great leverage. He's great leverage.
Great leverage play, and he catches almost just as many balls as Gibbs does. What people be surprised about. So what I'm saying to you is that's why I cannot lock. I'm not locking Gibbs in. And after that run that he had, this will be the perfect time for me as a leverage play to go to Montgomery. But I'm thinking to myself, because of the tight end situation, I'm going to play these 2 backs. I'm going to have those 2 big backs in there. And then in that game with the Ravens and Buffalo, I think, the tight ends are going to make a difference in this game because you're going to throw the short passing game and all that kind of thing that's going to happen.
Now, Danger says that Montgomery is the worst leverage on the board. So let's get back to the original thought, Swami. We said that we think that Barkley Henry is the right move. But if you do that, you're not going to be able to get in St. Brown. You're not going to be able to get in Puka. Do you care about that?
I care about that because I think of the receivers, I think Puka and St. Brown might have the best spots. And so if you could get them in there and maybe just play either Barkley or Henry, I think that's probably a good way to go, at least in the lineup.
If you could only play one, who are you playing, Barkley or Henry?
I'm playing Henry.
Me too.
A big back. Barkley is a lighter back, even though You know, I thought he's a great play, but he's a lighter back. Give me that big back that can, pound people in the snowy conditions.
That's a coin flip, Doc. It is.
But Barkley loses touchdowns with Hurts.
He does, but and then the way he's been playing, his willingness to slide, he took a slide on our money. So yeah, for that reason, if I had to pick one, I might lean Henry, just because the big fella has not,
Is there any other running back? All right, we mentioned Montgomery, we mentioned Barkley, we mentioned Gibbs, we mentioned Henry. What about, I'm not playing any commander back, telling you that right now. Would you play a Mixon? Would you play Justice Hill? Would you play Ty Johnson, Willie, who's looks pretty good there? You mentioned him last week.
I told you about Ty Johnson last week.
You did.
But the Ravens are they don't struggle against the backs like this. This is a different team. But let me say this. I think you're making a mistake when you're doing something, because I'm going to have a lineup of two with Eckler. This is the reason why. Detroit struggles against that back coming out the backfield. And I think they do.
With him, Doc. I agree with him. They
do. They struggle against the back coming out the backfield. And I think you saw that little bit of Eckler last week. And, what's his price was $4,800 or $47. And what's it then raised to 51 because you need every damn dollar on this slate. But I just think, you saw what Buffalo did to him. You saw what Tampa Bay did to him. But
if you play Eckler, who are you not playing?
If I play Eckler, I'm one with three backs. I'm still playing the big backs. You understand what I'm saying? I'm still playing the two big backs. It just that lineup. Well, it will be a third. It will be three backs. Most of the lineups I might be having two backs. Now on FanDuel, it's a lock. I'm going with the three backs.
It's always a lock, right?
I'm locking it up. I'll let other people make that mistake. But I'm locking that up on FanDuel.
Swami, if Willie's going to play Eckler, what about McLaurin? What about your boy De'Ami Brown?
De'Ami was one of my guys last week. He did well for me. I'm thinking about him, and I had Samuel as well. I'm thinking about them guys this week, especially with the paying up the big back.
McLaurin's in play. He's in play this week. He is. He's in play.
Who's that, Willie?
McLaurin is in play.
But I'm not mad at McLaurin. I'm just saying with paying up for the backs, it doesn't give me a lot of wiggle room to get the McLaurin. I hear you, and if I had extra cash, but right now I think I'm gonna be making a choice between the second wide receivers. I don't like the Bills guys, so I can easily take the chance on Samuel. Same thing there.
What about Jameson? What about Jameson Williams?
I would. You could talk me into playing Jameson.
Hell yeah.
You could talk me into playing.
He's definitely in play.
And other than that, I think we got to look for somebody else for either the Chiefs or the Texans to look for. But again, we're not talking about the number one guy. It's not Mixon. It's not any of those guys. No.
Can I give you my favorite Texan? And we didn't even get to the position yet. Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, the tight end.
Best play on the board for the price, because the Kansas City's terrible against tight ends.
Yeah.
And Nico Collins is going to get triple covered. Literally going to get triple covered.
Right. I'm not mad at Schultz. I'm not mad at him at all. And listen, you could comfortably, let me tell you something. I got a lineup and I just did it for giggles. You could comfortably get this. And this is before I found out for the snow, so I don't know what I'm going to change it up a little bit. But I got Daniels, Barkley, Henry, McLaurin, Worthy, Secure, Likely, and Kincaid. I like the tight ends in that game. I like the tight end, and then I got the Ravens defense because for turnovers. The point being is you can get that play, and you can get St. Brown, and you can get these guys in. It's just.
So who are your cheap guys?
Oh, my cheap guys is people like I think you. I mean, I like the cheap guys are like somebody like I think Samuel. I think, like you said, King. I think the tight end for Houston Schultz. You got ways to get your cheap guys in there. You just got to be willing to. You're gonna have to sacrifice something. You can't eat it all. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to sacrifice some of the slate. And I think Schultz, because what did Kansas City struggle against? Mostly against what, tight ends, right? And at that price point, and he did well in the first game.
I'm talking calculated risk, Doc. I love the player Schultz and maybe one of those other guys, but to be, I guess, to be good stewards of the folks out there, if you find yourself having to play somebody you don't know going to be in the game this week, don't do it.
Don't play him. Yeah.
Don't
play him. I mean, Samuel, say he's going to play. You do know that. So you got and also what's this a receiver for Houston? Got about 8 targets. What's his name?
Mechie.
Mechie? Oh no! Somebody mentioned Mechie. Danger
Mechie,
just said he's the #1 leverage wide receiver.
Mechie, yeah, Mechie's been getting 8 targets, and listen, if you got to go that low, I think for me, I think I'm going more mid. I'm going mid receivers because I think Worthy got a lot of upside. I think McLaurin got a lot of upside. Guys like that.
In that first game, I think Dell had 6 for like 100. Like he had a decent game, and they assuming that's going to be
Mechie's going to take that role,
right? Which isn't a bad assumption. I'm just saying that's why I think they are high on him in the Sims.
I find this line. I'm trying to do a lineup here, guys. I can't come up with anything I really like. I hate everything. Is that terrible?
Yes, because it means that we are focused more on plays than maybe coming up with a game theory and a play for playoffs. That's
because I really think that I'm gonna have a couple of lineups where I'm gonna have 6 people from this game, the Detroit Washington game. Won't throw it in.
So that's the game you're in on.
Yes. And I think that if you throw 6 people, then you could get your arbitrary people and from your Philadelphia and your
so then you take Mechie and you take Schultz and you take the cheapies and you take Aguilar. You throw them in.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm playing Aguilar, but I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I'm playing that rascal.
Swami, who's your game? If Willie's game is Washington, Detroit, who's your game?
I probably got the same game considering the weather. But I feel something feels sneaky about it. Well, it did before you talk about the weather, about the Eagles and Rams game. I thought that one had the potential to be sneaky in some way. But with the weather, I don't know. Now I'm back to maybe the second game might be the Chiefs and Texans. Just don't like it.
It's funny. I like the Chiefs and Texans more than most, but could that game fail? How does that game fail?
Well, that game failed if a bunch of nobodies catch the ball. And Mahomes.
Can you play naked Mahomes?
If I'm going to play him, I probably have a Kelsey or Worthy with him. If I'm going to play Mahomes, I don't have one of those guys.
That's the only way you play it, Doc. You got to go all in on it if you play him.
Yeah, if I play it, yeah, because I could say he's been concentrating on Kelsey. The Kelsey is a known playoff warrior. We know that.
I like that override. I like it. I like the Stroud and maybe Mechie and Schultz or something like that. I like it. Because if you
that's interesting. Would you do Stroud, Mechie, Schultz, and then revolve all your expensive dudes around that?
Yeah, because you need something like that to make it work.
Right.
Not you're going to be playing Walls at your utility. I'm telling you, he is.
And I got about 2 plays for you. I'm done.
So let me see. I'm gonna play around with that. Let me see if I can get Schultz in, right, and then Mechie. What would we give me something we'd do after that? We'd have Stroud, obviously. We have Henry and Barkley.
See what it look like. See what it look like.
All right, so Henry will throw Barkley in there. Do I want the Chiefs defense? No, right? Can't do Chiefs defense.
Yeah, no
Eagles?
Defense, not yet. You go ahead to fill out some more players first. All
right, so here's what I have. I have Stroud. I have Barkley and Henry. I have Mechie, and I have Schultz. And I have the Eagles defense. So I have 18,000 for 2 wide receivers and a flex.
You could actually go with McLaurin and Jameson Williams in that same game.
All right, so McLaurin and Jameson Williams, and I still have 5,900. Do you want Montgomery? Do you want Devonta Smith? What do you want?
Probably, if I'm going to do that on the back, that would make sense. It would be Montgomery.
So here's this team. Tell me if this team can win. Stroud, Barkley, Henry, McLaurin, Jameson, Williams, and Mechie, Schultz, Montgomery, and the Eagles D.
That's right. That's interesting. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Should I save it?
That's
Yeah. Oh, yeah, save it because I'm gonna save it too.
No,
I mean,
reason
I say it because it does all the things that we want to do. Listen, McLaurin has got over 12, 13 touchdowns this year.
Right,
So
and Jameson Williams can take a top off.
he can take a top off, and he's been just as good as Ahmad, except he's not known. Ever since he got suspended, he's been balling. We're playing. So
and we have the 3 running backs we want,
and you getting the leverage by playing Jameson Williams over Ahmad, right? And you're also doing the same thing by playing Montgomery because everybody knows what's the fresh thing, Gibbs in their mind. And one thing that I know about Dan Campbell, because the players love, I've been listening to what they talk, they love that this guy came back, that he's back playing.
Right, let's say Danger's right. Let's say Montgomery is a trap. If we took Montgomery out, who would you put in instead?
Because I think we got off to such a good start. We could take the Montgomery money and do some things. And I haven't done the math, Doc, but I'm just saying for an example. And now we could play Josh Allen and Samuel. I'm just saying.
Stroud.
No, I'm just saying if we wanted to, we could create something else off of the lineup using that Montgomery money.
Now, a quarterback that I can play naked is Josh Allen. I definitely can play Josh Allen naked because Josh Allen does so much. And he throws to so many different people, and it's been proven. Cooper, we don't know. Coleman, we don't know.
Does it work, Doc?
What do you want in there?
I said if we took out Montgomery and Stroud, does it work with Allen and Samuel just with that same build?
Josh Allen, 3,200. No,
it don't work. Yeah.
I can get Aguilar. Samuel, I need $200. So let's say I could get rid of the Eagles defense.
Okay.
Are you good with getting rid of the Eagles defense?
For who?
And I can put in the Lions or the Bills or the Ravens or the Ravens.
Yeah, I think that's viable.
And if I don't know if we're gonna go with Samuel like on the kind of feel like this that he's gonna be doing what he did last week.
I think I'd rather go Stroud.
Or guess what? What if you like Mahomes? What if you put Holmes in there and then put Worthy in? I just think that money can we do that with that same money?
I think we can do that. So let me change that. So if I take out that, and so you want Mahomes?
And I know we can move it back around, Walls. It's not fundamental.
No. Listen. This is just seeing what
can't get Worthy in.
No, okay.
Unless I go for a cheaper defense.
Okay.
And a cheaper defense may work on this thing because we don't know.
Okay, so at 3,100, I can get the Bills or the Ravens in.
Either one will make sense because of the weather conditions.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the lineup is Mahomes, Barkley, Henry, McLaurin, Williams, Mechie, Schultz, Worthy, Ravens.
That sounds very interesting. That sounds interesting. That's better than everything Walden came up with so far.
I didn't come up with anything.
Well, look, if what we're saying though is if that game hits, if Mahomes throws 1 or 2 to Worthy, and we can get a Mechie or a Schultz coming back, you're cashing.
Right.
Plus, you have Barkley and Henry and McLaurin and Jameson.
But
I'm telling you,
if that game hit, I think that's the pieces in that game, and that's where you can get. While everybody else going to be focused on maybe playing the later games.
But I think I really, like I said, I like Likely and Kincaid in that game, especially when you talk about bad weather game with the tight ends, and especially when the Ravens are missing the number 1 tight end. Because I tell you, Likely gets a lot of run.
What?
He gets a lot.
They're missing Zay Flowers, the number 1 wide receiver.
Zay Flowers is out again.
He said tight end. I heard him, Doc. You heard him.
He did. I know. We're trying to come on. Be nice. Be nice.
What?
You said
it's our last show. Be nice.
Huh?
Never mind. Don't worry.
You said the number 1. They're missing the number 1 tight end.
You said number 1 tight end.
Oh well, listen.
Look, I'm calling security on you, Willie. Come on.
Yeah, you meant.
I'm telling you. You know, I'm a just a likely believer, man. Likely, man. He just has that extra.
Who's the player we're not thinking of that's going to be good this week? Like Swami said, Samuel. Last week he had De'Ami Brown. Who's the guy that we're not thinking of that all of a sudden is like, that's the guy we should have had?
I got to let Walls go first because
you go. No, you go.
Okay, so the guy I think that's going under the radar right now. That's not as Swami says. I think Kelsey going a little bit under the radar.
I do too. Nobody wants to pay up for Kelsey. Nobody.
No.
He could have 2 touchdowns in this game.
Easy. This is still Travis Kelsey. He can easy have it.
I mean, Travis Kelsey doesn't do anything all year, and all of a sudden the playoffs, 8 for 87 and 2 touchdowns, and you should have had him.
Yep, and it can happen. I think.
And see, and my guy will be Montgomery, because I think Montgomery nobody's looking at him, especially on FanDuel. Yes, but I'm talking about on DraftKings. Everybody's still Gibbs centric. But we know Montgomery can get it. If he gets 2 touchdowns at that price point, you know what I mean? That's gonna be a guy, and everybody gonna say, "Damn!" I mean, actually, why did I go? You know, because everybody just remember what and Gibbs has been phenomenal. But I think
Permar may be right though. Why are we overlooking Jared Goff? Jared Goff at home is a star.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I told you.
I agree.
I'm not.
I just went with the Daniels side of it, hoping that it seems like Daniels is on he goes another notch or two when his team has to keep pace with another team. So that's why I said I think he's a good bet at that price.
I mean, they got really Detroit projected for 5 touchdowns. Just think about that in this game. That's what I'm saying. They got it for 5 touchdowns. And we saw, listen, and I'm going to tell you what makes this game different than the other games that we have. Number one, this game, you got the teams that punt less than anybody. And you have in this game, you're going to have more balls in the air because the Commanders don't run the ball. They run a game. So guess what? This game is going to be longer. You follow what I'm saying? You're going to get more plays in this game. Mm-hmm. And you got the 2 teams that go for it on 4th down more than anybody. This is the number 1 and number 2 team. You understand what I'm saying? So when it's 4th down, let's go. We run another down.
So I'm just going to give you odds, guys, okay? CJ Stroud to throw 2 touchdowns is plus 191. That's disgusting. Patrick Mahomes is minus 201. Goff is plus 132 to score 3 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels is plus 183 to do 2. Matthew Stafford is plus 140 to do 2. So they're basically saying, and Allen and Lamar are both minus 124 to throw 2. They are saying that Jared Goff is the lock of the slate to throw 2, most likely 3. And then they're saying, Vegas is saying Mahomes is the next best bet to throw 2.
I would agree.
Yeah, listen,
because they not including the fact that I think that Lamar could also run for 102, right?
I can get to that.
I think that's the other piece that changes the equation a little bit. But I agree with that. I agree that Goff is likely to throw more than 2. I got Mahomes at 2, and that's why I'm not really high on him. He's been struggling to get that all year.
Let me look at player touchdowns. Give me a second. So Schultz is plus 434 to score. That's disgusting. Nico Collins is plus 150 to score. So who are we saying? We're talking about all right, Montgomery's minus 191 to score. Jahmyr Gibbs is minus 214 to score.
So they like them a lot.
They do. I mean, those are big numbers.
And all year we've been taking them, Doc, for that anytime touchdown. Both of those guys.
Terry McLaurin is plus 123, not disgusting. Kyron Williams minus 113.
He should be plus 113. I like him against the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't either.
Where's Barkley? Barkley is minus 197 to score.
Barkley ran for 255 against them. I don't know. I'm not again, I guess.
Well, what they're saying is,
and Henry is minus 265. 265. That number is like.
Walls, he averaged 10 yards a carry with 26 carries. What do you want Barkley to do? They can't stop him at all.
I want to see the Kelsey thing because that's really interesting to me, Swami. Give me what's your thoughts of Kelsey is plus 137 to score.
Oh, I like those odds.
Yeah,
that's pretty good odds.
Yeah, that's pretty good odds right there. And what is it for 2 touchdowns, Doc, for Kelsey?
Ooh, I'm not looking at it that way. I'm just looking for one. I can go on to a different site.
Yeah, because I think, Swami, you got that for, how DraftKings give you those 2 touchdowns or?
No, I don't have it. I was looking from a different perspective. You looking more like to take a bet, those type of odds.
Right, but those sometimes you look at it that way, Swami, and you can it helps you figure out who to play. Because if let's say Willie's right, and let's say Kelsey's plus 500 to score 2 touchdowns, that's low. Most guys should be plus 1,500 to score 2.
Right, but I am cautious about allowing the odds, right, for a proper parlay to influence. I want it to be the other way. I want the DFS research to inform the bet, not the bet given some crazy odd to then influence the lineup.
All right, multi TDs, Willie. I have it right here. Travis Kelsey, 2 TDs plus 800.
Yeah, because we've seen a couple of these people, man, get those 2 touchdown games. And they take home some nice money. They take home. So,
what about Detroit? Let me see. Detroit. One moment, please. Multiple touchdowns. Gibbs for 2 touchdowns plus 225.
Yeah, that's about right.
Woo!
That lets you know he's the man. That lets you know.
3 touchdowns is plus 800.
That lets you know, Mr. I'm going with Montgomery.
Maybe maybe Danger is right that Montgomery is the sucker play and they're not going to play him a lot. Maybe he's not going to be out there as much as we think. Maybe he's not ready yet. And you save him for next week.
Yep.
No, we listen, that's why it's DFS. I mean, I just think that Detroit just has 2 ways to go. And I just think that, I do like Gibbs, but the fact that they got 2 ways they can score, and they got another back who I'm pretty sure they're going to let get 1 touchdown when they get down there, because I know Dan Campbell, he's going to listen to the guy Ford to get himself back. He's going to give him a touchdown.
Well, Montgomery's minus 191 to score.
Yeah,
and the other guys got people who vote to them every week. Like you can't.
All right, well, let me ask you this: what if we don't play? Just hear me out. We don't play Barkley. We don't play Henry. You play Gibbs and Montgomery.
No, no.
And look, we say that Henry and Barkley are going to get 150 yards, but they don't score. If they don't score, I might win.
I hear you, but no, thank you. I hear you though, because one of those bastards.
That's Willie trying to be nice, going, Doc, you nuts.
Because it's likely they'll split what Barkley will have. Some type of way. One of the guys might have 100 and 2 touchdowns. The other one will have 70 and a touchdown. And Barkley.
But last week, what did Barkley give you in DraftKings? He gave you 14 points.
But Green Bay it's been like I said, been tough against the run.
But if Barkley doesn't score, if Henry doesn't score, they are good for about 14 points.
No, now see the thing that we got to take in, like say for instance, if Buffalo somehow got off to a lead, if they got off lead, then that's going to change. That's going to change the carries that Henry get, and then they can become more of the other back getting in the game. Now I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to happen that way, but we know what the playoffs are. If something happens a certain way, it could render that back. But Barkley. Thing about Barkley, it doesn't matter what the score will be. If they trailing behind, he's still in there. You know what I mean?
Barkley don't slide. I think he got 30 fantasy points left.
Do you like this quote?
coat from
One of those guys.
All right. Before we get out of here, because I know Willie's got to go, give me the balls to the walls call from Willie Walls.
I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be. I just thought about this because I remember, and I can remember when this guy made us some money. He made us some money, Scooter and I, when Cleveland went against the Ravens, and this one receiver went nuts. I don't know if you remember who it was. You know, I like Worthy. You know the people that I like, but I think this guy
Likely.
No, not Likely. I mean, y'all listen. Y'all know I love Likely and Kincaid, but I'm throwing out somebody else that I did. This came to me, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper has been cheeks, and what I'm saying to you is one thing that he has that he does have. Remember he went that game when he played the Ravens and he went nuts. When he had like about 2-something, I don't know if y'all remember that game. When Flacco threw him the ball, I think Mr. Cooper, this will be the time that you have him. He's got all those personal issues out of his way, and if he's going to do something, this is the game to be able to do it in this type of game. So I think Mr. Cooper is my balls to the walls call us Mr. Cooper.
Willie will be hanging with Mr. Cooper.
But I know I listen, I'm going out. You know I like Likely. Those are my guys. But I'm just saying.
All right, Swami says.
First thing Swami gonna say is I don't think this Amari Cooper, wide receiver, Cleveland Browns had 200-yard games against the Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Texans. I'm looking for this one against the Ravens. He talking about what the hell is this guy talking about?
This was the game last. Remember the one game it was last year.
No, you don't remember that.
Oh, what game was that?
You don't remember that because it didn't happen against my beloved Ravens.
Oh, it wasn't the Ravens.
So you can take that stinky pick and go that way. No, thank you. And in fact,
all right, who's your guy, Swami?
He brought me to a Swami says, Doc, and last week I was all over him. I said, no. But just like that little pop group, we going to say, yeah, this week. We going with another Cooper. And his name is Cooper Kupp. This week, Swami says. That's what Swami says.
Hold up. Let me say this. I'd rather play Cooper. No, thank you.
I bet you down that Cooper Kupp outperforms Amari Cooper.
Is that a bet?
That's like ask me, do I want chlamydia or DD, sir? I don't want neither. That's what that's like. You ain't giving me nothing. That's horrible.
Doc, he's so crass. Doc, take us out of here for the FC.
My guy is going to be Travis Kelce, who's done pretty much nothing all year. But I think he's going to score. I think he goes 8 for 80 and finds the end zone.
Look at the playoffs last year. He dominated. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a great call, Doc.
He's dominated. And since right now, and the reason I can validate that pick that you're saying, since they play now, since Brown is back, they play 11. They don't do 12. Right. So now Noah Gray is not on the field that much. Right. So this will be the time. So he is not getting vultured.
This is Kelce time. This is take picture of Taylor Swift time. Let's go to her 3 times in the booth time. This is winning time.
Yep.
All right. We want to thank everybody out there for being with us all season long. We love doing the show. We love being here and talking DFS football. Hopefully one of us will win a lot, and hopefully next year you'll be back joining us doing our thing on Friday Night Lights. All right, for one last time, what do we say, guys? We say be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.